got this mouse, and it was delivered in a few days after ordering, and this was what came, which was what was delivered. There's no brand name on the mouse, really not much. As much as I love this mouse, I've been using it for quite a while now for most of my work in the studio. I may have to part with it now. I've been using this mouse for about, I think, close to perhaps maybe 10 years, and it has served me so well. It's a wired mouse, and really doesn't have so much, just the regular mouse. You have left, right click, and then you have a scroll button in the middle. Nothing much. An optical mouse, and of course it's not the old ball thing going on like the old mouses we used to have. So it's an optical mouse, and there's really nothing special about it, but it does the work. I mean, good precision, works well. I mean, just fits the palm of my hand just right, in the right proportions, and very comfortable to use. I've used this for designing, I've used this for editing, I've used it for almost everything that has to do with all my media needs, and I've not had any issues with it. But then recently I've been having problems with the wiring. It keeps going off and on. I initially thought it was the connection, but then I tried using different connections with the USB, but then I found that it wasn't the connection. I found out that the wiring, I think somewhere at this point, was kind of probably loose or maybe cut, and it keeps going off and on. And it can be really annoying when you're working on something and your mouse just keeps going off and on. Boom, 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 boom. That sound can be very annoying, and so I had to make a change. Now the question is, what kind of mouse would I want to change to? There are many options of mouse that one can get nowadays with various technologies inbuilt. We have wireless mouses which use 2.4 gigahertz wireless networks to connect, so they have like a sort of small dongle and that's attached to them, which you can connect to your USB wirelessly. And we also have Bluetooth mouses. I guess we also have some other technologies you can use to connect your mouse to your system, but I think by and large Bluetooth and the 2.4 gigahertz, I think there are 5 gigahertz wireless mouses too, I'm not sure, but those are pretty much the two methods of connecting your mouse to your system. Another question was the budget. So I was thinking, how much do I have to spare to buy a new mouse? I could buy another wired mouse, which would be quite cheap, but then, I mean, coming from an initial wired mouse, I think it would be good for me to upgrade to something that's wireless, something more intuitive and all that. And so I saw this wireless mouse online, very cheap. I think I got it for less than 3,000 naira on Jumia, and I saw good reviews on it, and so I decided to just give it a try. It's a 2.4 gigahertz gaming mouse. At least it's said to be a gaming mouse. Whether that's true or not, we'll find out. So I saw this on Jumia, and then the name was, I think, YWYT or something like that. Had a funny name, but then it was quite cheap compared to other options that were there. And you know, of course, the first thing would be to look at something that's great value for money. And looking at the price and looking at the reviews, I decided to go for it. There was really nothing special about it, just a regular 2.4 gigahertz wireless mouse, and I just needed something that would help me with precision and would help it work. So I got this mouse, and it was delivered in a few days after ordering, and this was what came, which was what was delivered. There's no brand name on the mouse, really not much written on it. So it says gaming mouse, optical design, USB interface, and then on the side there are some description and features of the mouse. So this mouse is a rechargeable mouse. It doesn't use the usual removable 2AA batteries, but it's rechargeable, so I would have to use this and know how the battery does over time. And so it came in this package, and so this was just pretty much everything. There was nothing more in the box. That's everything that came with the mouse. And so this mouse came in this soft touch material, nothing more than that. And then we have a micro USB cable with it, which I believe is for charging. So this is the mouse itself. There are no manuals or anything to show you how it works and all that, which is a little bit odd, but I guess it's because it's a generic mouse. It's not really something branded and all that. It's a cheap mouse, so as long as it works, I really don't care. It just needs to work. But then the mouse itself has a branding on top of it. Yeah, this is the YWYT, I believe, and this glows when it's working, I should believe. So this is how the mouse is. The mouse is quite flat, very lightweight. Has left click, right click, which actually feels good. They're not as clicky as my other mouse. Well, when it comes to gaming, you probably want to, maybe feel some more click and all that. You can hear the clicking of this, which, I think it feels good when you can, feel like you can actually feel the click, aside from the fact that you hear the click. For various reasons, you might not want to hear any click. I'm really indifferent to it, but just the feel, the sturdiness of the click is something I'm already used to, and this doesn't have that. But that's fine, that's not a problem. So it's just soft click. Sometimes you could even click on this and not know you've clicked on it. So it's just soft click. It has a central roll of stuff which you can use to scroll and all that. And comparing this to my former mouse, it feels cheap. It feels cheap, yeah. My former mouse looks quite sturdy at that. The build material, this looks a lot plasticky, and the roll feel is not as sturdy as this. Yeah, so then it has this middle, I think it's a button too. Yeah, it's a button, which I believe also glows when you connect the mouse. And so underneath we have the receiver, the 2.4 gigahertz receiver, which you can just remove like that, and then you connect it to your computer, and then we have a switch under, so you can put it on. Okay, so now it's on. So there are two stages. Put it half on, and then put it to the maximum on. I really don't know what that means, but I think I'll just check that out. So I found out the functions of the button. So when you put on the first switch, what it does basically is that it puts on the mouse, but it doesn't put on the RGB lights. So as you can see, it's just the red LED lights that are on. You don't have any RGB lights going on and everything. So as you use it, it's just the red lights, the red normal infrared light and all that. But then by the time you put on by the time you push the switch to the extreme, then the RGB lights come on. I have RGB lights in my studio, so this is just a nice slice of touch to the lights I already have. It looks good, really. This actually looks very beautiful. I mean, the variety of colors that you can see. So now let's connect to the computer and see how well it does. Okay, so it's connected to the computer now, and this is basically how it looks like. It's talking about the ergonomics. It's not bad. It's quite flat, really, for a mouse, but I think that's just okay. Depends on what you really need it for. If you're not doing something that needs real fine handling, I think you just do fine with it. So it's quite flat, so if you're going to be using it on the table, I think your hands should really be at par with the table so that you'll be able to have a balanced feel of it. nothing too special about it really. Scroll. I think the only thing that I'm not just comfortable with it is the amount of palm that this tends to cover. So when I'm using this, I tend to just, you know, touch it with my fingers, like I have sort of large hands in a way. So I'm just really just handling the whole thing with just, you know, my fingers, and my palms are not really holding. So the handling is a little bit difficult in a way compared to my former mouse, which, you know, takes quite a punch. You know, it has this hunchback which, you know, really gives a lot of grip when I'm using the mouse. Feels good. But this is just quite, it's too flat really. So if I'm going to be using this, I really have to ensure that my elbow has a lot of support so that it will be comfortable. But with this, I mean, I'm fine in any posture. Like, it's just so comfortable, so easy to use. So aside that, every other thing works fine. No special differences. Aside from the fact that I think one advantage that this might have is that it's not as clicky. So if you do not need clicks of sound, like if you are averse to having a mouse that sounds click 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 with everything that you do, then I think you will love this mouse. And by and large, that's all about this mouse. The battery life depends on how much you use it. I haven't really explored that, but I think you use well over a day or more. Yeah, which is the most important thing, especially if you are using it all through the day. So this should be able to last through a day, like of full use, and I mean using it all through and all that. But then I'm not sure. I will have to test this and then check out the battery life. But I think the battery life should be good. From the reviews online, people have used this and they say the battery life is good. That's basically it. I hope you enjoyed the review. If you have any questions about what the mouse does, you can ask in the comment section. And yes, this middle button here, this little button here, I'm really not sure what function it has. So I finally found out what that button was used for. That button is the DPI button, depth per linear inch button. So what that button basically does is it helps you change the sensitivity of the mouse depending on what you want to do. So if you're doing something that needs more precision, then you can, you know, click on the button, then it moves through different sensitivities. So you can change it from 800 to 1200 to 1000 or 1600 based on the sensitivity. So when you click it once, it changes to from 800 to 1200, click it again, changes to 1600, click it again, goes back to 800. So it's basically just a DPI button that is used to toggle between the sensitivity levels. I would have loved it if it had, you know, auxiliary buttons by the side for special functions, you know, the left and right side, just like we have on proper gaming mouses. But I mean, they said it's a gaming mouse, so I mean, probably if I could have that. But you know, for the price for this mouse, I think I just have what is fair enough for that price in that sense. So I think I'm okay with the mouse, and I believe I should enjoy using the mouse. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. If you want to buy this mouse, there'll be links in the description as to where you can buy it. If you have any questions, if you have any clarifications, you can ask in the comment section below. Like this video, subscribe to our channel. Please subscribe. If our videos really help you, you know, make a decision, you can subscribe. Thank you very much for watching the video, and see you in the next video.